Animal rights campaigners are planning a protest in Clacton as the self-styled Great British Circus comes to town.
They're angry that it's touring with animals, including performing elephants, though the circus insists they're well looked after. The
protests come as Whipsnade Zoo in Bedfordshire has been showing off its new baby elephant. Victoria Webb has this report.
Inside the big top, the elephants are preparing for their first show in Clacton tonight. Their appearance, though, is proving controversial, with a number of animal rights campaigners organising protests for the weekend.
Well, these wonderful animals in the wild will be roaming tens of kilometres every day. What they're subjected to in the circus is a far cry from that. They have to perform unnatural tricks under the glare of bright lights and loud music.
The circus also has camels, horses, lions and tigers, and every 2 weeks they're transported to their next destination.
The two Asian elephants at the circus are Delhi and Varnamana. The African elephant here is Sonia. Her mother was killed in a car and she was sold off by the game park. The circus says they act as great ambassadors for the species, educating and entertaining the public.
They also insist the animals get plenty of exercise and enjoy relaxing in their enclosures.
If you're going to have captive animals, I'd rather see them, honestly, in a context like this, where they have lots to think about, lots of activity, than in a traditional zoo or indeed sometimes in a safari park where they don't have very much to do and they're bored and sometimes listless.
There is an area you didn't want us to film today. Is that because you're worried people would think that that's just too small an area to keep animals in?
No, it's not, but I think people need to see the big cat areas live. We're very proud of the facilities we provide for the big cats as well, but it's impossible on a screen or in a newspaper photograph to do them justice.
As these elephants get used to their temporary home in Clacton, Whipsnade Zoo in Bedfordshire, which has a breeding programme for Asian elephants, has been showing off its new addition to the herd. Standing at just 3 foot high, she was born on Wednesday night, weighing in at almost 20 stone. But it comes just months after the death of a 1-year-old calf at the zoo, which died from a virus that's been linked by some groups to animals in captivity.
It's not necessarily captive elephants. This is wild elephants as well that have the problem of viruses that attack them sometimes. So yes, we'll keep an eye on her and we'll do everything we can. At least we could actually administer treatments, because obviously in the wild there'd be nothing that could be done.
The circus is being held on private land at the airfield in Clacton, and officers from Tendring District Council have visited the site to ensure the animals are well cared for. The council says it would not allow a circus with performing animals on land it owns, and many other local authorities in the county have a similar policy. Times have certainly changed since 1976, when crowds in Shotley and Suffolk cheered as an elephant joined a passing out parade. The Great British Circus will be in Clacton for almost 2 weeks. It insists it will raise the profile of endangered species, but many campaigners would prefer that they remain in the wild. Victoria Webb, Anglia News, Clacton.
Well, from the very, very big to the very, very teeny now, if you've been in certain parts of the region over the past few days, you must have seen them. Swarms of ladybirds, armies of flying ants and an invasion of painted lady butterflies.
What on earth is going on?
I don't know, you tell me.
Natalie Gray has been trying to find out.
Sea Palling in Norfolk is a sea of ladybirds. Tens of thousands of them have descended on this little coastal village. The army of red and black insects are everywhere, and it was much, much worse on Sunday. Carol Bedingfield, who lives here, says there was a plague of them.
We were absolutely covered. You couldn't go outside. They were in your hair, down your clothes, everywhere. You were just covered in them, and you were crunching on them as you walked. You couldn't help it.
Everywhere was blackened by them. And you couldn't sit outside, you couldn't eat outside, you had to keep everywhere closed because they were just everywhere.
At the Courton Inn pub near Lowestoft in Suffolk, landlady Kerry Young says the ladybirds rained down on them too. And here are the pictures to prove it.
And if you think this is pretty impressive, then you clearly don't remember the summer of 1976.
Yes, then millions and millions of ladybirds arrived with the heat wave. This was North Norfolk, a crawling, wriggling, sometimes flying carpet of bugs. So why, oh why, are they back in great numbers again?
We're not absolutely sure whether these are ones that have come over from the continent, as all the butterflies have at the moment, or whether these are ones which are homegrown ladybirds which have gone out to sea and are being blown back in.
Why are they in such huge numbers?
Well, they've obviously had a very good time feeding on aphids. They've increased in numbers, and this is what happens. We get enormous numbers of them. Most of them, of course, won't survive.
You've also been telling us about swarms of flying ants. Well, this is part of the annual summer mating ritual, when, for a brief few days in July, queen black ants grow wings along with their mates before taking to the skies to reproduce in their millions. The painted lady butterfly has also arrived mob-handed. More than 1 billion of the beauties are set to adorn our gardens and hedgerows from their native North Africa.
Right through the spring, these have been breeding in North Africa, in Spain and southern France, and now they've arrived in Britain in very large numbers. And they've come here and they've bred here as well. They breed on thistles, and some people have found very large numbers of caterpillars crawling away from the thistles.
It's turning out to be a bumper year for summer visitors. Natalie Gray, Anglia News, Seapalling.
It's about this time of night, isn't it? We turn around and see a little one just crawling over the screen behind us. But no luck tonight, unfortunately. However, keep still. Oh, you look at that.
Thanks very much.
A nasty flying ant.
Will it be weather for ladybirds tomorrow? Let's find out. Here's David Hughes.